Welcome back to another edition of The Road to 2200. I am 1927, and what is my opponent doing? I do not know how to play against this opening. So I believe it's called the Bird opening. I've just generally been playing a regular Queen's Gambit decline kind of thing, sort of setup. I don't know if that's right. I really am not sure what to play here. I think I'm actually going to come out here. I normally would play here, but I don't know. This seems reasonable. Develop my bishop before bringing the pawn out. And then I guess I can just go here. And I've got ideas of maybe jumping in there. Okay. That's very weird that they made this square so weak and are just like, come on in. Come on in the square. So my plan is to go here. And if they go like here, I think I'm going to go here. And if they take, I just get to cement this super strong pawn. So I think that's the right idea here. I just walk in here. I don't know. I don't know if that's the best plan or not. Very interesting here. If they're not breaking this pin, but I guess maybe the plan is they're just castling next. But I think this is the right idea. Just go here. Um, like I said, if they take, it's fine. Clearly not going to take here and let them kick me away, even though it does double their pawns. That's not really what I'm worried about right now. I guess it's a good point that they can just jump in here for all the talk I did about how like they're just letting me go in. They will be able to jump in there eventually. So what am I doing? I feel like I'm going here, move the bishop castle, and then we're in this very symmetrical type position. This is another weird move. I don't really understand that one. All right, I'm gonna move the bishop somewhere. I want to move. Ooh, I don't know where. I'm kind of thinking here, and then maybe I have this move. Maybe not now, but maybe at some point, and then opening up this diagonal. So I'm gonna try this. I mean, this is a pretty decent spot for a bishop anyway. I guess when he jumps in here, kind of annoying. Okay, this pawn is threatened. Breaks up the pin also. So this is really hard. I don't want this knight to jump into here. But also if I take here and they take this way, they have a big center. My knight gets chased away. Also then that would drop this pawn because I get chased away. So I don't know. This is a tough one. I think I can't do that. I think probably I need to just go here. I think that's fine. Yeah, I guess I'm going to go here and then let them jump in. Okay, so they just take. So which way am I taking back? I think I'm taking back this way. I have a nice big center. Yeah. Not too shockingly, they jump their knight in. I think I need to take it off the board. The problem is I can't castle them. So I think I'm going to castle first. Oh. They're hitting my bishop. Okay, so maybe I'm in quite a bit of trouble now. I really didn't think that taking with the F or E pawn made that much of a difference, but if I'm gonna take here and they take here, well, that seems to be a pretty big difference. So do I have a move to not trade? I could just sink back to here and then yeah, I guess that's fine. And then I can castle and then go here. Okay, I thought I might do that, but it doesn't seem that strong. It feels like I just go here and my goodness, if they take here, that would be amazing. If they don't, what did they really gain there? I don't know what they gained. Because now I can just take this way after I castle and then keep the two bishops if that's the direction I want to go. Okay, that seems very strange to me, but I mean, Maybe my opponent's theory is, haha, now you can't castle, but I don't know that that matters, right? Did I even want a castle? That's unclear. I don't really have any mating attacks, though, so that kind of idea is off the table. I'm looking at this, and then if takes, it'd be pretty symmetrical. Would free up my bishop a bit. This gives me quite a bit of space. I don't know. And then if I go here, takes, I think I'm pretty happy with this. So I think I'm going to go here. It looks like a strong move to me. Maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe I should have first kind of put my rooks on their optimal squares and done stuff like that. But I kind of like this idea of takes. And then maybe I can push through a passer. Okay, so they're pushing there. So it really raises this question, do I take? I think they have to take this way. And then I'm just kind of on the open file. So this looks pretty good. I think this makes my pieces more active. My king's guarding the entry square. I can go here. I can jump into there. I can go here. It kind of looks like this is a problem. But if they go this way, that's madness. Like, you're really going to give me a protected pass pawn. I don't think that's a good plan. My opponent's kind of in a tough spot here, actually. I think trading off their, like that whole sequence where they checked me and got nothing out of it, then traded off the knight for no reason. Like, that whole sequence was very strange. Okay, so the question is, which rook does it matter? I don't think it matters. I think I can just put a rook here and it really makes no difference. Because the whole plan is to double through this square here. So I think they might have made the right call, but I think it's going to be tough. Because it's like, where does the knight go? It doesn't have that many squares. Let's say I put a rook here. Knight goes here. I put the other rook behind. The bishop can't move because the pawn drops. This is just pretty messy for my opponent. The nice thing, though, is the way they've got these pawns situated. My bishop doesn't have a lot of scope. This bishop doesn't have a lot of scope. So while I'm sitting here talking about how much I'm winning, maybe I'm even not. Maybe my opponent's doing such a good job with their pawns that I'm not winning at all. I don't know. Also, I don't really have any pawn breaks other than this one here, which is not really possible. That's an interesting idea. Clearly, I have to come back. Do I care? I don't think so. I guess my opponent is kind of saying, like, yeah, go ahead and double your rooks. Like, it looks cool and all, but do you actually have anything? And I guess that's a good question. Do I? Pretty tempted to go here. The king can't try to invade. What am I doing with these beautiful rooks? How am I making this happen? I'm also looking at this possibility. They could just push, but then I can just push here. Things are getting more and more locked up, though, and I don't think that's what I want. I need to be able to get my two bishops in the action. Maybe the other idea is to come around like this and let the bishop come in the action this way. But the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to win this. All right, I am well, and if I move the bishop, then this comes, and I don't love that. So I'm going to move my king here. Okay, this can't come. There's a pin there. Yeah, so my opponent's really trying to use these pawns. Why do I want my bishop over here so much? What am I getting from that? Nothing, perhaps? Better would probably be here, here, threatening there. If the knight moves, actually, it doesn't matter. Bishop here, he does hit that, and then threatens to go there. So, yeah, I'm going to bring the bishop around. I'm going to go here. I don't know that that gets me enough. I'm trying to look like there's some sort of sacrifices I can make here. here, threaten that rook, but to what end? I don't know. I mean, if the rook moves off of the back file, then yes, I win. But I just don't think they're going to do that. Like, that would be a ridiculous move. Yeah, that's the move I expected. Oh, how do I attack any of their pawns? Maybe I give up on the doubledness and come around this way. But I'm going to kind of wait for them to weaken themselves a little bit more. What I'm really looking at is, do I go here? I don't know about that. I'm not sure that that gains me anything. Takes. I could come in here with a takes, rook here. But I could just back up the rook. Probably this way. I don't know. I have a beautiful looking position that I can't figure out how to take advantage of. I am going to go... I don't know. I guess I'm trying to decide if pushing these pawns over here is a good idea. Like, something like that. I think I'm going to bring the king over more. And just say, okay, I've taken the bishop over here. Let's bring the king back. Okay. I'm going to go... No, I like this. I like that pin. I'm going to go here because I have a clever idea. If the king moves here to try to support these pawns, I can go here and then go here. But my opponent does not fall for my trickery, so I'm going to go here to once again pin that pawn. Try to lure him into this trap. It's 930 to 250? What? How is this even possible? Oh no. What is happening? Probably what I should do next is push the pawns. Although this feels like a... No, that's a bad move, I think, for my opponent, because then it allows stuff like this. Or probably here, giving me other options. I mean, I kind of need to think of it as like all of their pieces are guarding against what I've got going on. So if I can just use these two pieces and my king to smash open the queen side, I'd be in business. So probably a good move is here, depending on what they do, because they can't take. So if I took and they took, maybe that's not so good though. They're getting the 2-on-1 pretty far advanced. If I were to take here, takes, probably want to go this way. Oh my, this is a tricky one. I still don't have a plan. That's what's worrying me. If I had a good plan here, like I did my plan, I executed my plan, and then I got to the result of the plan and was like, wait, now what? Like, this plan isn't everything it was cracked up to be. Okay, so now the king's moving away. If that's the case, I guess now if I were to go there, they would go there, closing up the game even more. So I don't think I want to do that. So what am I doing then? I am going here. I'm going to pin the guy again. In fact, I'm probably just going to offer a draw here if we keep pinning. Ah, okay, so you're letting my rook out. That's an interesting choice. So now if I go here, if here, I don't know. Can't quite figure this one out. I don't like the fact that their pieces are loose now. All right, I'm just going to go here. Wait. Yeah, I'm going to go here, here, and I don't know. Try to make something happen. I'm unclear of what I'm supposed to do here. But at least I can gain some more space on the other side of the board. Okay. I think this is wise of my opponent to do something like this. But I do have this trick. Takes, rook here. Something it does anything. This pawn is pinned. Can I take advantage of that? I cannot. Okay. We're just going to go here. The idea of going here next. And then if they push, I'll probably push again. Okay. Are they coming in there? That's interesting. I'm going to go here. Maybe that's not a great plan. Although if they take there, I think I'm going here. And at this point, I don't think I fear this fork because, I don't know, this bishop is probably worse than the knight. Okay. I think I'm fine with this. Okay. I kind of think I like this. Oh, wait, let me see. If I go here. Yeah, I'm going to go here. And now, this is a very advanced pawn. And if I get the chance, I'm going here next. And then I'm really in business. Because there's a lot of sacrificing ideas in endgames with these really advanced pawns. So maybe I can make something happen there. I also now, if this king moves at all, I've got a lot of ideas. So now the king is also stuck. King is stuck, rook is stuck, rook is stuck, bishop stuck. Every one of my pieces, my opponent's pieces, cannot move far. They're all stuck. So I basically have as much time as I need to do whatever I want. I think I really need to keep that in mind. Okay, so there's an interesting thing. If here, here, rook gets to settle there. So I need to be very careful of that. So I think I need to go here to make sure I don't get checked. Okay. So what's the best way? I think the best thing is taking. I think it's taking, and then I go here. And now how are you handling that? I don't think you can. I think now I finally have broken this game open. So now I'm going to have this pass pawn. Yeah, I think just things are much better now. So that, it looked like my opponent had something. I see what they were thinking. I'll land the rook here. I'll invade. And then I said, no. We're not only can I stop you from landing here, I also get to attack the pawn. So I think that was just, it felt kind of lucky on my part that I could bring my bishop to the exact right square. Chess is a weird game like that, where sometimes it feels like by playing well, you get lucky. And I also have this idea now. In fact, maybe my opponent goes here. No, they can't, because then I take the bishop. Yeah, so I'm not going to do this idea, because I think then they go here, I put the other rook there, trade, and now I don't actually have anything, and all their pieces can come free. Whereas this, they're just locked up. And look at this. This is the best move they can come up with. It's just like, I will now move my rook over a square. Like, goodness gracious. Okay, so then one more square just so they can go here. But now I do have this cool idea where I could go here, and then the other rook comes in and takes. And now maybe I do move the rook. Let's see. If I go here. No, that won't work, so I'll bring the rook up. Yeah, so I think I want to go here. And then bring the other rook here. And if we end up trading a rook, I think I'm okay now. I've got the passer. I've got this one. Like, things are looking very good for me. My next move is going to be to go here. And if I get to make that move, I think I win. Like, if my opponent goes... My opponent can't go here. Wow. That's even off limits. So yeah, I'm kind of guessing my opponent's going to go here. Do I go here immediately? Takes. I think I go here. Then takes. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Maybe I get chased away. But even if I do get chased away, I'm in really good shape. Okay. Well, I think that's good for me. I will go here. Now I'm on this twice. So now if this moves, this falls. So once again, my opponent is really locked down again. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to come up. My opponent is in trouble. I feel like I have a million moves and my opponent has very close to zero. That was a good move because my opponent didn't have any good moves, and that's a move that I wanted to make. So, although possibly just there would have been a good move. Okay, so now they're gonna threaten to win that pawn. Yeah, so now I'm kind of regretful of that decision. I do have this check from behind. Wait, I think I have mate actually. Yeah, it's mate, right? Check there, check. Can settle there. I didn't realize I could settle there, but I can go here for mate. So yeah, you know what? Let's just take mate. Let's just take checkmate. Okay, that was a fun one. I really enjoy those games where you can just bottle your opponent up completely and then just sort of destroy them and never let them get counterplayed. Those are fun games. Which is funny because it came out of an opening. I had no idea what was happening. Okay, so according to the openings book, G6 is the most common approach here. I considered it. But this just seemed like a fine move, and the openings book says, yeah, people do well with that. Okay. This feels like a weird move to me. It is way down in the openings book tree. The engine says I have a very slight lead. And I just decided to jump in immediately. I don't know. Let's see what's the engine. No, the engine says no. That was too soon. You should have like played E6 first, done some other stuff first, and then at some later time you can jump in. But this looked good to me. I don't understand why I wouldn't do that. Wow. Interestingly, the engine doesn't love this. The engine says white has a 0.5 lead, which isn't a lot, but I'm kind of surprised to see that. Okay. So everything's fine now. Now the engine has turned the game, slightly my way. Okay. Then we make these trades, which, yeah. It felt wrong to me when they did it, and the engine says it's -1 now. So let's look at why this felt wrong, and then also the engine agrees it's wrong. I think right here we can see this knight is annoying. It's patrolling a lot of useful squares. Additionally, if I trade for it with first this piece, they get to go here. They have an open file, and this pawn is exerting a lot of space. So this knight is annoying. And they don't have to fear me taking it because that's just worsens the situation. So essentially, you don't want to provoke that. Just do other things, right? So a good move would be develop a bishop. It could be develop a knight. And basically anything but trade this knight. And even here, they don't have to trade the knight. They could just be like, okay, move on with my life. Because even when I castle and then I go here, it's still good for them. So I'm definitely worried. And then they just take the knight. And I'm like, wait, what? So you've given up your only good piece on the board. Not just your best one. Your only good piece just to deprive me of the right of castling when there are no queens on the board anymore and the game is blocked off and I don't even need to castle. And in fact, the king is probably better placed here than way off in the corner. So that was a colossal positional blunder. So this is probably the first game in this series that has been lost on a positional blunder rather than a tactical blunder, because that sequence of events loses my opponent the game. Now, there may be some tactical moments after this, we'll have to see, where it was like, no, the true disaster is yet to come. But that is certainly a terrible, terrible sequence that puts my opponent way behind. Interestingly, I'm trying to decide here between which pawn break, and the engine likes G5 best, which seems a little weird to me, right? Like they take, it's temporarily a free pawn. They can start guarding it, but the more they try to do things like this, the weaker the king becomes. I can undermine here. If they do something like this, and now suddenly it's like, oh, wait, what? Wow, the queens might be out the board, but geez, that got intense fast. So I didn't really think about that. I was just like, well, C4 looks good, or C5, I'll, mess things up over here. Also, the engine says, why rush this? You don't need to take there. You don't need to take there. It's fine. But it's good. You're still winning. All right. So it's just, I decided to grab this open file. Interestingly, though, again, the computer's like, play G5, right? Why am I like, the computer has not no interest, but littler interest than I do. I see an open file like this, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we're gonna double, we're gonna penetrate on the open file. But as we saw, it was a little frustrating that it was hard to take advantage of. But what it did do, it's one of those interesting moments where I couldn't really penetrate all the way, but every one of their pieces was stuck defending it. So it ended up working out pretty well regardless. Okay, so we come over, take the open file completely, and now I was just kind of like, I don't really know. The computer's like, I don't know, just improve H5, A5, something. I decided to do this cheeky little maneuver that didn't do anything. I'm just kind of letting my opponent weaken themselves with these pawn pushes, thinking eventually this is going to work out in my favor. Here was a little trap I was thinking of. If my opponent went here, I think this is strong. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, it's pretty strong, because then we get to go here, or here. I don't know. I was thinking of going, actually, yeah, this looks better, because then it's connected that way. But now here, and we just created ourselves a pass pawn. So that's what I was hoping that my opponent would fall into. My opponent did not. They played pretty well, just despite the one, like, what happened here? Critical blunder. Okay, so they're just kind of moving their king back and forth. I'm moving my bishops. I don't really know what to do. Finally, I'm like, okay, I'll just get some space over here. That's fine. They jam the knight in here, and this is another good reminder that, like, they might be thinking, yes, I'm going to simplify this game. They're going to give up their bishop for my knight, but the knight was doing a lot better in that closed position. And now it's just kind of like, what? And this was the one tactical moment where it seemed like a really good plan, because if I take, they take, but I just have the absolute answer, and then this is kind of game over at this point. Take the pawn, and it's there's really not much you can expect my opponent to be able to do from here. So this was a really, really fun game of, it felt like high level chess, right? It wasn't a ridiculous knight fork that one of us missed. It wasn't a hanging piece. It was like a subtle positional blunder that lost the game. So it was very fun for me. So the takeaways are, the big one, you have a great night. Don't trade it for your opponent's terrible night. Like, do not do that. That's a bad idea. And then I think the next big takeaway for me is recognizing when you have an attack, right? So I was very excited about this whole plan, when really I had my plan being the double and the choking and all that, and that was great, and that was very effective, and the engine says that's fine. But, like, knowing and seeing when you can actually just kind of, like, get a giant attack is very useful. So, but I don't know. The big takeaway for me in this one is, one, don't make that positional blunder, and then the other one is keep your opponent's pieces tied down, right? So I think I did a very good job with that. Once I got the open file, I really kept squeezing, right? I didn't make dramatic moves. I just kind of shuffled the bishops, let them make their position worse because they're squeezed, and eventually they're squeezed so much there just aren't any other good moves. So this was a fun one. This is my best win in a while. I'm very excited that I got to play this one on the road to 2200, and we are now 1935. Are we coming back? We're climbing back? Yes, we are. See you next time.